So we got up this morning and we had a plan, and then odd stuff just happened. And we'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up right after this.
Hi everybody, I'm Judy.
And I'm Jim, and welcome to It's a Highway Vlog, where you get to travel the country with us, and you don't even have to leave your handy dandy little dog park at the house.
So while you're using that pooper scooper,
don't forget to like our video, hit the subscribe button here somewhere, and don't forget to ring that little
ring, ding, ding.
Notification bell. Why? Well, so you don't miss anything.
Obviously.
Hey, good afternoon. We are in Elkton, Maryland, still, again. It's Friday afternoon. It's actually about dark out right now. And so we just thought we'd give you a little bit of an update on our day and how things have been going for us. And the start to our day and what we did today. So another day in the life of the Expediters, whatever we want to call ourselves. So anyway, we got up this morning, and Judy yesterday showed you those yellow envelopes that she's got, where she's actually sending off Christmas cards to people that are incarcerated in the state of Ohio.
And by the way, we're mentioning that not to say that look at what we did. It's to give people ideas of what they could do over the Christmas season, or any time of the year,
right,
to help other people out.
But it's, that's just something we did anyway, but that sort of presented a problem to us, and it's a problem that people that are not out driving a trucks maybe not even think about it. We didn't think about it. Well, she had 3 large envelopes, and we had no idea of how many stamps to put on them. We don't know how much they weigh. So normally, what would you normally do? You would take those to the post office. Well, sort of presents a little bit of a dilemma for us, because it's our truck's not really post office friendly.
And most post offices.
Yeah. In fact, what I had to do was I pulled out my phone, got on Google Maps, typed in post office, and it showed up, a list of probably 7 or 8 post offices that are within 10 miles of where we're at here in Elkton. And, but if you start zooming in and looking for places to park our big 40-foot long straight truck, there's not too many. Elkton is somewhat of a semi-rural area. There's lots of little towns, little 2-lane country roads, and there's just wasn't any place to park. There is one post office, and it's actually the closest to us, that they had a big gravel parking lot out front, but we just weren't really for sure.
You think that was big?
It really wasn't big at all.
It's really that big.
So anyway, we decided we would get up. We got a late start this morning. It's sort of been a long week. We slept in. We didn't have a load. We still don't have a load. We did not get a load for today. We do have a load for Monday and a load for Tuesday, but we were hoping to get a load today, and that did not happen. So we basically got up and said, well, we need to go to the post office. We need to go to Walmart. So let's start looking for a place to go. So that's what we did. So we got up, looked around the truck, and that's when our day took a really bizarre, weird turn. And I'm not going to gross you all out with the details.
But it was just not something we were expecting this morning.
Nothing we were expecting. Nothing I even ever thought would happen.
Ever.
and are still really trying to figure it out in our minds what exactly did happen and why it happened to us.
The whole thing.
We're perplexed. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to sort of let you know what happened in a polite manner. At some point in time last night, someone
left us a present.
They left us a present. And I've never really heard of this happening. It just blows my mind. To make a long story short, someone took their dog out for a walk last night.
You think?
We think. We're hoping it's a dog. And the dog used the bathroom in front of our truck. And for some reason or another, part of that bathroom break ended up onto the grill of our truck. So someone had to basically pick up the doggy poo and threw it or whatever into the grill of our truck. So we have this large brown mass on the front of our truck. We're still not for sure why it's there or what happened. Did we tick someone off? People, I don't know. It just never expected that to happen.
And in 8 years, nothing like that has ever happened.
Bizarre. So anyway, we had to clean that off.
We didn't even talk to anybody, so, you know.
Yeah. Oh, look, loads.
Yep, here they come.
Probably none for us. So anyway, we cleaned that off. I cleaned that off. Got that taken care of. Still, it's in a way it's humorous.
That was a gym job, by the way.
Yeah. In a way, it's humorous because you're just like, what the heck? Do we have like 3-year-olds in the truck stop?
And one of those things you'll never get the answer to, ever.
We'll never know.
And one of the reasons why we believe it's a good thing that some people have cameras on the front of their truck.
Well, that's one thing that we're probably looking at now, maybe is a camera system that would record maybe for the next truck. But it's just so bizarre a way to start the day. So, anyway, Friday.
That was before the whole post office, dilemma. So actually, it was after the post office dilemma.
Well, no, we still had to find our way to the post office. So we found a post office, put the route into the GPS, and looked at it on Google Maps. It didn't look too bad, just a little small country road. So we headed off to the post office, got to the post office, and the parking lot was full. And there was
Christmas time, everybody.
Christmas time, mailing packages. Fortunately, right past the post office, there was a railroad track. And right on the other side of the railroad track was a gravel lot that we think probably belonged to the railroad company. It looked like there was a road, sort
Looks
of
like they had been doing some construction on the railroad.
It was like a service road, and it was more than large enough to park a truck in, and it was all graveled. So we pulled in there. And Judy...
I went off walking to the post office.
She walked to the post office.
Just across the railroad track.
And I fixed breakfast for myself. And so once she made it back, she got the stuff mailed. The post office guy was super nice.
Extremely helpful. It was because we don't mail very much.
Right.
I had taken 3 separate packages because I didn't want to stuff the cards into one package and then things, made the package too big or whatever. And he said, well, all you have to do, he says, we can put all this into one flat rate package.
Right.
And he brought out the envelope and he says, I'm not sure if they'll both fit, but he says it might be just a difference of $1 or so. But he said, if I do these each separately, he said, it'll cost you like $4 or $5 for each package. And he said, but if I put them in this flat rate, it'll cost you like, $8 or something like that, just in the flat rate package. And I don't do very much mailing from the post office. Most of us probably don't anymore. But even before trucking years, I didn't really do the post office a whole lot with packages. You know, usually whoever I was sending them to was down the road, and all I did was take it to them. To do that. But anyway, very helpful.
So we got very helpful post office person. We got our postal stuff taken care of, and now it was time to head off to Walmart. So there's a Walmart about 7 miles south of us, and we've been there before. There's a decent place to park the truck out back. So we headed off down there, parked the truck, place to park, went inside to Walmart, and Judy has an observation about Walmarts. It's wherever we go in the country, people inside the Walmarts, they drive their shopping carts, or buggies, as I like to call them.
Jim's a buggy person. I'm a shopping cart person.
But they drive their shopping carts very similar to how they drive on the roads. And we're in Maryland, and nothing really against Maryland. The people here are really nice. But we've noticed the closer you get to Washington, D.C., the worse people drive. It's like they just get sort of crazy. I don't know if there's something in the water.
It's like it's almost a courtesy thing. And not a courtesy, it's a...
Well, you said something earlier about there was a lack of store etiquette.
Yeah, thank you. And driving etiquette. I don't know.
It's whether like every person just... for themselves.
Yeah,
and it's not like they're rude.
No.
It's
not
just
rude
they're
all.
Sort of oblivious to the fact that they're standing in the middle of the aisleway with their cart sideways in the aisle, and they're just sort of standing there trying to figure out which brand of mayonnaise they're going to pick up. And there's like people coming back up the aisle this way, and we're trying to go down the aisle this way. and they're just sort of standing
there's no stay to the one side or stay to the other. And it reminded me of going around DC.
Yeah, DC is...
And the merging and people
Lord.
are just like this.
You know, every section of the country we drive in, they're stereotypical drivers, and there's just different parts of the country. DC,
and we stereotype them. I don't know as other drivers do.
Yeah, people around DC just really sort of drive a little crazy, and they don't watch when they come down the ramps, or they'll stop on the ramps when they're trying to get on, and it's just, you know, like that.
And it's kind of weird because it's like they. And I don't know who they are, but it's like the expectation is that the other person's going to watch out for them.
Yeah.
And that was the whole Walmart experience today. It was just like, I'm going to crash right into somebody.
Yeah, it was just like
you'll just move for me. It's all right.
It was almost like everybody had blinders on, and it's just like, you know, I'm in the Walmart by myself. And there's no one else here, obviously, that I'm going to inconvenience by me parking the shopping cart sideways in the you know, the aisle, and they just sort of were all going on their way. And what I mean I mean everyone.
Well, and I don't know, is it you know, the etiquette I think in shopping is you kind of stay to the one side, and there's almost like you feel sometimes in some Walmarts where you feel like you're going down the aisle the wrong way. You know, you're just like, oh, right. Everybody else is coming this way. I feel like I'm in the way because I'm going this other direction.
Yeah, we were the only people following the rules.
There was none of that at all.
And it's funny.
Everybody was going like, you know, all these different directions.
And when we went in, Judy went off to the grocery section. I went back into electronics because I was looking for a cable. And so it was probably, she was almost finished with everything. We had a list. We knew what we were getting. We really were not getting too much stuff because we're going home this next weekend. So by the time I got back up there, she was almost done. But what she had encountered in the grocery section, I was encountering in the electronics section. I mean,
I didn't even hear about that.
Just everywhere you went, trying to get down the aisleway, you know, you'd be walking along, and then there'd be somebody with their cart sitting sideways in the aisle. And you'd have to, like, you know how Walmart is. Some of those larger aisles have, like, they put stuff down the middle, products down the middle, and then there's one side and another side. People with their cart sideways across is like blocking both lanes. I don't understand, but I noticed it too, so it's weird. It wasn't just Judy.
Because usually I'm telling him, would you move over a little bit?
So yeah, I'll usually get yelled at by Miss, you know, shopping etiquette over here. And I mean, I get yelled at for like having, you know, the cart like 3 inches off the wall. And it's just like, I always tell her, she's like, yo, you need to move. And I'm just like, I have to be somewhere, and I'm going to be right here.
But you're in the way.
No matter where I go, I'm in the way. Story of my life.
Even in the truck, folks. Even in the truck, he's always in my way.
It's true. And the trucks, you know, there's more space at Walmart. Anyway, that was our day. At Walmart. Good experience. Nice folks. Everybody was super, you know, nice and friendly.
And the guy at the checkout was awesome, too.
Yeah, they were. It's not like they were mean or bad tempered. It's just they were just a little
oblivious is all I can say. It's just oblivious that there was anyone else in the store but them.
Yeah, so anyway, sort of bizarre. So we went back out to the truck. I'm going to give my wife a little bit of kudos here. When we got back to the truck, we put our groceries away. Our standard procedure is I put the groceries away in the truck, Judy runs the cart back, which usually we're, you know, quite a ways from the cart rack. So she'll offload the truck or the cart up into our truck in the front seat. I'll pull everything back in the sleeper. And while she runs off to take the cart back, I'll start to put stuff away.
It's called a team effort.
Yeah. The Walmart we were at, sort of behind the Walmart, back through the woods, there's a trailer park. And there's a lot of folks back there, I think, that are probably struggling not so well. It's sort of a rundown area. And,
well, they walk to Walmart, and that's a path that they cut across.
They walk to Walmart, but it's like through the woods. And to get from the Walmart parking lot up into the woods, you literally have to go like up a little incline. And there was a couple there, and they had a baby, probably their granddaughter or something. We're really not for certain. But anyway, Judy helped them out. They had a grocery cart full of stuff, and so she actually grabbed, what was a huge trash can that was full of stuff.
They had a shopping cart full of stuff, and there was a stroller with a baby in it, and there were 3 adults. But the one adult was elderly, and
like,
you know, she was walking fine, but you know, but she was slower, and they had this whole, including a thing of water. And I'm just like, how are you guys going to get that over that hill with that stroller? And they were starting to take things out of the cart, and
So she jumped out and helped.
I just
So I stayed in the truck and not really realizing exactly what she'd done until I got back in the front seat and she's halfway up the hill and I'm like, what is she doing? So anyway, but then
I said I'll be back, didn't
I don't know. She didn't take her phone with her. I was sort of worried she was being kidnapped.
I did think about that about halfway up there. I was like, I didn't grab my phone.
Kidnapped by a bunch of inconsiderate people in Maryland.
No. Oh, and the lady was so sweet. She was just like, do I owe you anything? And I'm just like, no. It's just,
and then tell them about the trailer, all the Christmas, these blow up dolls apparently. You know that the blow up Christmas things,
Yeah.
Rudolph, Frosty, everything. Apparently the whole trailer, you couldn't see the trailer.
all the front, the whole front of it was the trailer. And see, and this is my assumption. I believe that the elderly woman was the one who lived there.
Yeah.
You know, that the other ones were just visiting and taking her shopping and, you know, that kind of stuff. But I just, you know, the whole front yard had the blow up Santa Clauses, and I think even the spaceship one, or
aliens.
Yeah, it's aliens.
So, but that's pretty cool. I mean, it's neat that folks, even though they may not be in the best situation, you know, still celebrate Christmas and everything. This is like one of my favorite times of the year, and this year it just seems like it's going so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, this season is just.
We're not even going to make it home before it's basically over with. So, but anyway,
we'll have a half a week.
Yeah, probably. So that's our day. Our plan for the weekend is essentially we're gonna do part 4 in our series about our business tomorrow, hopefully sometime tomorrow afternoon. And then on Sunday we're either gonna do like a cooking on the truck video, or we'll do a health related video. I don't know what.
It might be a combination video.
Yeah, but we're going to be sitting here for the rest of the weekend. We do have a load Monday, but it picks up later in the day. So we'll get up Monday morning, take showers, and check for extraneous things on our truck. Yeah, it's really sad.
We're parked in a different spot, so maybe it won't happen.
That's now going to be, you know, a mandatory part of our pre-trip. It's just doing.
But just so you might know, you might have to add that to your pre-trip the next time.
So, it just still blows my mind.
And then Jim was out looking underneath every part of the truck after that. It was just like, where else might it be?
My fear is it was somebody that was being malicious and may have damaged our truck. I don't know. You know, we're a straight truck, and on occasion, I think there are some of the larger, you know, the trucks may not appreciate us. But we have ran into that attitude at times. Few and far between, but it does happen from time to time. And so I was actually afraid that, you know, if they did this, what else did they do? So I actually got out on the ground with my flashlight, looking underneath all the tires, so maybe they just, you know, could have put something underneath there. So.
And I went through the whole thing. Yeah, it was probably a prank. Kids running around doing stuff.
We have different attitudes about stuff. We've told you before, she's the optimist.
Yeah,
and believes,
I like TPing people.
She likes to find the good in everybody. I, on the other hand, am the pessimist, and generally I tend to mistrust people a little bit more than she does.
I trust people until I don't. And then I don't.
And then she doesn't. So anyway, but we generally, most everybody we run into is pretty nice, and we don't really run into that on the road. This is literally...
Yeah, this is a crazy thing.
This is the second odd thing we've had happen to us, and I'm not going to tell you what the first one was. It happened about 2 years ago. Well, maybe 3 years ago. Bizarre situation, had nothing to do with this. It was just somebody that had a really bad attitude and probably had a mental problem.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do know. I was lost at first, but now I know what you're talking about.
Lost about that too. And those are really the only 2 oddball instances we've ever had. Generally, everybody's really nice. We have a good time. We don't bother people. People don't bother us.
And truthfully, truck stops, I know we have this discussion before that back when your dad drove, truck stops were a lot different and could be, and not that, you know, there's not the shady stuff going on now, but it's a lot more secretive, I guess. I don't know, not so much out more in the open.
It's been cleaned up, I think, quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot more security and things like that happens around a lot of truck stops. But, you know, as far as me walking around at the truck stop, I don't feel at all threatened or anything like that, you know, not that I would anyway, because like Jim said, I'm naive and I just...
Yeah. As long as you just sort of watch where you're walking And I guess that includes when you're walking into the
in
truck.
front of our truck.
So anyway, we hope you have a good evening. We'll wrap this up, and then I'll get to editing, and you get to doing whatever you're doing, and we'll be safe
I
and
think
warm.
I'm going to work on financial
stuff.
Yay.
And we'll go from there. So we will see you probably in the next video tomorrow. So please like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Ring the bell.
Ring!
And we'll see you in the next video.
So long, everybody.
Good night.